I'm big into cocktails.
He means by cocktails, Jack and Coke.
Yeah, or Jack and Diet Coke.
Jim and Coke.
Yeah, or
Cherry Coke and Jim.
Yeah. Diet Cherry Coke and Jack. Welcome back to Arsenic Culture, where beer don't count, but bad decisions do. I'm Matt.
I'm Jason.
I'm Drew. And we got our buddy Pierre back with us
What's
again.
up?
What's going on, man? We just got done talking about weed.
Yeah.
And
Always
THC,
a good topical
beverages
conversation,
and
of
did a
course.
few quick shots. But I appreciate you coming back, man. We like having you
course,
on.
man.
You are a wealth of knowledge.
I try.
And we're not high.
You're a decent chef, too, by the way.
Yeah.
Great charcuterie board.
High-ish. You came in and was like, let's drink. And he breaks up a freaking charcuterie board that's
He did.
like 18 inches long and it was delicious.
Y'all are providing all the great beverages. I got to at least bring a little something, you know?
Yeah.
And I couldn't bring weed, and I couldn't bring weed beverages. So,
I didn't say you couldn't. I don't know what you're talking about.
That's true. Fair enough. I'll be right back, guys.
Well, I'm glad we have you on again because
sir.
we're going to have a discussion here about something that I think you would have a very interesting take on. Me and Jason, we do a lot of bourbon-centric episodes.
We have.
And we talk about what's on the horizon. We just did an episode on Is Bourbon Dead? And we talked about, I can't remember, we had one right on before that, but like,
The future of bourbon releases we're looking forward to, stuff like that.
yeah, and then like hoarding bottles, but like what's coming up? Bourbon
Yeah.
is, you say it's bourbon dead, but like honestly, it's here. It's been here for millennia, not literally, but it's been here for a long time. It's really not going anywhere. Sales will go up, sales will go down, but there are parts of it that's going to trend and parts that aren't. So like, what is the next swing for bourbon? Where is it going, and how is it going to try to stay afloat?
So we're in a glut. I think we're on the beginning of a glut, meaning that we have too much bourbon
We're going to get
for the consumers.
right.
So the things that distilleries have to figure out, what are you going to do with the excess bourbon? So we're filming this on a Friday, and tomorrow will be after. I already have this bottle by the time it airs, but tomorrow I'm going to Jim Beam in the morning at 5:30 a.m.
Again.
And we're going to get a bowling pin full of Jim Beam bourbon at
Did you say
86 proof.
Ebola pin?
I heard
Ebola.
Ebola.
I heard
was
Ebola,
like,
yeah.
Ebola or bowling pin. It's like you bowl, you hit down those little
As
little
long
pins.
as I'm not dying,
No, you're
like,
not dying.
of diarrhea, then
so
that's fine.
I want to get a bowling pin of 86 proof Jim Beam bourbon
Nice.
for a collectible.
Nice.
The reason I'm going for this though is it's like kind of like from my childhood. My grandpa used to collect some of those things, like the little decanters.
Yeah.
Yep.
They're bringing that back to try to move that product.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it going to be like ceramic, lead lined?
It's going to be a lot of lead, I think. Yeah. Maybe some asbestos in the top, you know. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's
Forever
insulated.
floating on top,
It's insulated though, you know.
Yeah, okay.
But I think that's one reason they're doing, or one thing they're doing to combat that glut. Another thing they're doing is actually the RTDs.
Yeah.
So the ready to drink cocktails
Right.
from the distilleries.
And let's open this. So this
Yeah.
is the right time. We did a quick shot on this.
We have it. It's not out yet, probably, but
We
still,
you
yeah.
will see it. Spoiler alert, it's freaking amazing. It's really good. I guess you don't have to watch the quick shot
Yeah.
now, but we did a whole episode on RTDs, and RTDs, you know, take or leave it, like, when they first started being developed, I thought a lot of them were garbage. Honestly, most of them were
100%
garbage.
agree.
But they're getting a lot better, and then you brought this one, and then
did.
we were all universally floored. So we thought it'd be a good idea to kind of revisit this
Yeah.
while we're talking about the next big thing. And this is not actually, so there's two things we want to talk about. This is, in my opinion, the runner-up of the next big thing coming in bourbon is the RTDs. But you see a lot of people doing these RTD cocktails now.
Tons.
Yeah.
I mean, now you're looking at every distillery pretty much has one. If they don't have one, if you walk into the distillery, they'll have like a recipe there for you. Like,
Right.
hey, use our bourbon to make this. Lots of things are looking at that, especially with ryes right now. I think ryes are very hot to make cocktails with,
Right.
which is what this is.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah. This will be a good point to mention something that is very fun for us. We have our first official sponsor, NSD Bourbon. We appreciate these guys for following our channel and sponsoring us. We've been big fans of theirs, and they've been big fans of ours. So NSD Bourbon, you can find this at, I guess, most liquor stores.
Oh,
I don't
all
know
liquor
where it's
stores, yeah.
distributed. Yeah.
So Never
yeah.
Say Die, they have bourbon and a rye as well. I
Yeah.
think they have some single barrels, but I don't know for sure.
Yeah,
So.
super tasty pour, and in fact, they're actually going to be sponsoring a big event down a little bit south, the Nashville Derby, right on the Tennessee-Kentucky border, which I'm learning a lot about. But we'll be there. Me and you are going to be there, and we're going to be filming the whole thing. And we'll be sober the whole time.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm pretty sure. So
A lot of questionable footage. From that one.
we'll post it all. But thanks, the guys at NSD, Never Say Die Bourbon, for sponsoring us and welcoming them on board.
Absolutely.
So,
Shout out
yeah.
Never Say Die.
Yeah, but this stuff right here, the ready-to-drink cocktails that some of these distilleries are putting out are actually really good.
That sir's dangerously good.
Yeah, did you try that? So, like, we say, like, the next big thing in bourbon that people aren't talking about. I feel like people are kind of talking about RTDs.
They're starting to. I think it's
Right.
still a stigma with it. You know, you want the higher proof bourbon. A lot of the bourbon nerds want that. I do too, but there's a point where I don't want to drink 160 proof bourbon.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is like 80 proof or 40% alcohol. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's a great mixed drink. Doesn't drink it. You
No.
can sip this on the beach and anywhere, pool,
yeah,
whatever.
perfect, yeah.
I mean, it's actually just perfect as is. Pour over ice.
I could do Drew fifth hands on this one
Yeah.
and just take my hand and just go, you know?
Seriously, yeah. Just
100%,
chill a bottle a little bit.
100%, yeah.
A lot of these, like, the
that's
RTDs,
amazing.
the thing that kind of gets me is that I'm big into cocktails right
Yeah.
now, like making my own drinks.
Absolutely.
There's a fun, like, experimentation.
He means by
aspect with
cocktails, Jack and Coke. Is what
Yeah,
it's
or Jack and Diet Coke.
Jim and Coke.
Yeah, or
Cherry Coke and Jim.
Diet Cherry Coke and Jack. But
It's a breadth of drink knowledge you have.
yeah, spreads the
Go add a
game.
cherry here and there. You know, just
Yeah.
add a little cherry. It's fine.
But like I love experimenting and just trying new things. Like that's fun. That's fun to do. You know, you can be creative with it. The RTD, I feel like early on, I felt like it took that away from me.
Yeah.
Like it kind of limits you, and it's just like any other drink. Sometimes you're just in the mood for a drink, and that's fine. But like when it comes to quote unquote cocktail, I want to be in charge of that. But then something like this comes along, and you're like, this is exactly how I would make this.
I don't think on this product, I don't know that I would change anything.
No.
Like it's spot on. Just pour it over ice.
Like this is about as close to perfect of a ready-to-drink cocktail.
Just poured over.
I
just
mean,
pour
yeah,
it
like,
into mouth.
the more I drink it, the more I'm just like,
Yeah.
why did we even put this over ice?
Yeah, this is
I mean, maybe put like a garnish on it, maybe an umbrella.
Well,
It's Kentucky. You
we-
just add a sprig of mint.
Yeah,
and it'll be
yeah,
fine.
it's
It's
well,
like,
we talked about it on the RTD episode, and it's how it's like a convenience factor.
Yeah.
But I mean, where do you find this?
Yep.
You know, I mean, if that's 40 proof, that's one of the.
It's
40% alcohol. That's the smoothest 40% I've ever tasted.
pretty insane.
It's also $40. I mean, I think it's like 36.
Distillery only now,
32.
though. Yeah.
oh,
32
okay.
bucks
So it's
for this.
distillery
That's
only?
it's after tax and everything. 32 bucks.
I mean-
that's 80 proof bourbon tasting like this at 32 bucks. Like I don't know if you can beat that.
Yeah. So we talk about like the next big thing that nobody's talking about. I kind of feel like people are starting to talk about this
They are.
already.
They are.
There's a lot of distilleries. Honestly, you could go to the RTD section and you will see
Canned cocktails, everything, not just this.
Yes.
represented by pretty much
Absolutely.
every distillery in Kentucky. You know, I've seen Old Forester have stuff up there. Woodford's got some stuff up there.
Both have mint juleps. Yeah.
Going all the way back to when they were first developed, Jack Daniels was putting out their like Jack and Coke cocktails.
They got
and stuff.
cans.
Didn't
Yeah.
Early Times do like the original mint julep? Was in like wasn't that like the first one? It was like a mint julep, but it was in an Early Times bottle, and it was just like
if they didn't make it RTD like that, what they did is have an early times bottle with like a little bit of like simple syrup, maybe
side.
flavored on the side, and then also like a recipe for it or something.
Okay.
Maybe the glass,
Convince
like the
you to
glass.
mix it,
like
yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
But it was. I mean, I know I've seen those before. I used to work in a liquor store in college, and a lot of times during like seasonal events, they would actually put like a little neck tags on with like side shots or like little things to do.
Right.
So it's pretty cool.
I feel like they've come a long way for sure. I remember getting I can't remember. I got an early one when they first started coming out. It wasn't like the Jack and Coke, but it was something like that.
They were shit.
It was shit.
Don't
And
get mad at
here's
me,
the
Matt's
thing.
mom. Sorry.
It was such like a whatever it was. It was such a simple concoction. It's like one of those things like how are you gonna fuck
How
this
you
up?
mess that up?
And then they mess it up, and I'm like, why would I spend money on this? But now they're doing this. Like, I'm here for this. Like, okay, if we can actually make RTD drinks great.
Yeah.
Like, I think that is a great step for distillers. And the thing is, bourbon kind of is on the decline. We talked
is,
about this in our
100%.
last episode.
Non-debatable, yeah.
And RTD drinks are on the rise. So naturally, if you want to kind of like stay afloat or you want to stay up with the trends, you're going to embrace that. So this is a natural step. This is normal, but I feel like people are talking about it.
It's also clear. So a lot of times you think with adjuncts or something added to make a cocktail RTD, you have a glass bottle there and there's no haze in that. Like, I don't know what magic they pulled here, but I want to learn.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I was like, that's not clear. That's
Very much brown. There's no haze to it.
Right.
Yeah,
So
I got you. Yeah.
if you look at like a mixed drink or something, there's like haze to the bottom.
Yeah.
The bottom pour tastes different than the top pour.
Yeah.
Well, honestly, for me, I'm not really a pre-made cocktail drinker. I actually I'm one of those people. I tend to shy away just because they're normally not
You want to
good.
make what you want.
And I am definitely one of those people who would rather drink straight bourbon or beer,
Right.
as opposed to having a cocktail, especially just because I don't feel like cocktails are really for me.
yeah.
With that being said, this is amazing. Like it's a different level of good, and not only is it good, like it's palatable. It's you want to go back to it every single time. Like it's not too much. It's not overly hot.
I want to put out a
really
disclaimer.
sweet.
We are sponsored by NSD Bourbon. We are not sponsored by Green River. Okay.
Yeah.
But we like Green River, so you
but
know.
this is legitimate.
Yeah.
Like it's you across the board.
Like,
This is really
thank you,
good.
Never Say Die, for sponsoring us. But
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Like,
besides the
I'm just saying.
RTDs and stuff, Matt, what else do you think is kind of coming up?
Here's the thing. So there was an earlier episode. You and I were talking about this. You brought it up organically.
Oh, clearly.
and
I remember
you don't
this.
remember it.
No, I remember what you're talking about. Don't ask me to say it. I want you to say it.
Yeah,
Go
but
ahead.
something that's has been kind of an interesting pivot that I think some breweries, especially the legacy breweries,
Distilleries,
are exploring is incorporating terroir into their product. Now, terroir,
For those Kentucky folks who don't know what that is.
terroir is essentially it's really popular in wine culture. So the idea is that like when you taste that beverage or that food or whatever you're tasting the land that it came from, the area that it grew up in. When it comes to wine, it comes to grapes. The soil composition that it grew out of. There's going to be minerals in there. There's going to be fucking pesticides. Seriously, like anything that's in there, that is part of the terroir, and that's what you're experiencing. So when you try product A and you try product B, they both use the same ingredients, quote unquote, but they came from different areas. That difference in their taste and their palate is due to the terroir.
Absolutely.
And there are distilleries that are exploring this now, especially the big ones. They're growing their own corn. They're growing their own barley. They're like taking control of the supply
Their supply
chain.
line, yeah.
Yeah, but in doing so, they actually have a say in like how their ingredients are made and like how it contributes to their product.
Where are they planting this stuff?
So I think a lot of it.
Other places?
You see bigger distilleries doing it. I think some of the bigger distilleries are starting into it. It's mainly your smaller ones right now. They're doing it, like your craft distilleries. But when you think big, we'll start there. So Heaven Hill. We have the grain to glass. We've actually done an episode in the past, featured it.
I remember,
the rye. They have a rye and a bourbon, and then a finished bourbon, I believe. Could be wrong on that one, but it's a grain to glass. So what Heaven Hill has done, a big distillery, they've partnered with local farmers. So they have their grains that are grown there. So they're whatever, rye or whatever they're using. They'll have that grown there and then shipped to them. So it's one supplier from one source. Now, Heaven Hill's located in Kentucky. I could be wrong on this, but I think their source for the grain to glass rye was actually not in Kentucky because they couldn't grow enough of it.
Yeah.
Right, I'm sure.
But it was still in the United States. Maybe it was Omaha or something. It's Nebraska or Arkansas, whatever. So you look at that and they're shipping it into them, but it's one source and they're actually looking at that every season. They're going to theoretically get a different crop and then tell the difference.
Right.
Okay.
So we're looking to that.
And I think the important caveat there is that they have, more or less, they have control over it. It's not their product directly, but when you have a legacy brand like that, you have the deep pockets in order to control that. Now, you said some of the smaller distilleries are doing
So
that.
some of the crafts. So we actually had an episode recently with Jordan, our friend.
Right.
He brought one of those 15 stars bourbons in. I think it was a bourbon, but it's like heirloom corn variety.
Yeah.
So it's like different varieties of corn that they use just for that bourbon.
Sure.
It tasted really good. Like it was
Could you
clearly
taste
a
the
different.
difference
Oh
in
yeah.
that?
Like if you poured a Jim Beam or Jack Daniels or even like a Heaven Hill product or Four Roses, You pour that side by side, you would taste the difference in this.
Yeah.
Good or bad. It's
But here's the difference between that and Heaven Hill doing it is that 15 Stars is more or less at the mercy of their supplier. Heaven Hill could fucking buy their supplier if they want to.
for sure.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if 15 Stars' supplier is like, we're out of this, or somebody else, Heaven Hill wants to buy this, you can't have it, they're out of luck. They're dabbling in quote unquote terroir, and they're trying to focus on, where their ingredients are coming from.
Yep.
But really, honestly, they're just focusing on the ingredients,
product.
not terroir. Yeah.
Well-
Terroir is, in my opinion, it's deeper. It goes into actually having control of your supply chain.
Well, and to what you're saying too, like the larger versus some of the crafts, with the trend in bourbon, how we've had some distilleries that have been shutting down for a
absolutely.
variety of,
Yeah.
Before they even open.
It's interesting to see how that's going to play out because they're sort of putting their, I guess, all their eggs in one basket
Yeah.
to say, hey, like we're going to try to do it this way because we think it's a cool way to do it. And, hopefully it pays off because I think that more bourbon is better,
Right.
Especially if they're doing something cool and unique. But it'll be interesting to see how that kind of plays out because is there going to be enough money there for the demand for the product?
Absolutely.
Then you got it's aging. It's going to take years to get that stuff to market. So
we talked about this in
stay
other
liquid.
episodes, but I think it's a big dog eat little dog. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like right now, it's like all these smaller distilleries, actually the middle ones, the ones that are coming up and wanting to be the big guys.
Right.
But you timed it horrible with the market. Couldn't have timed it worse. You're screwed. So you're either going bankrupt or you're going to sell pennies on the dollar to the big
one of the
guys.
big guys,
And,
So what you're seeing right now is MGP has bought a lot of those people. So I don't know how deep their pockets are. I assume pretty deep, but they got to hit a
good
limit.
question. Like, I wonder how deep MGP actually
I mean,
goes.
they bought Penelope, they bought Lux Row, I think they got Green River. Don't quote me on that. I should have looked it up, but
crazy. And like
they're
for
buying
the,
a
for
shit
the most
ton.
part, they're like the behind the scenes guys.
They're all behind the scenes. They're the lab rats, if you think about it.
And they're
you
buying
know?
out people.
Yeah.
That's kind of nuts.
But they're also producing single barrels for a lot of these brands that actually don't make their own, the NDPs.
Exactly, yeah.
makes
Yeah.
So a lot of that, and then you look at other terroir, and I know we talked about this, it's not exactly the same, but a lot of your legacy distilleries, like your Jack Daniels and Jim Beam, whoever, they're actually aging their product in different locations, like a Wild Turkey.
Yeah.
So it's like different rick houses. So you have a Camp Nelson, or, it's Camp Nelson F. It's this warehouse. Camp Nelson B.
Yes.
Yeah, what was that three
It's-
bottle set that we did? The small bottles.
oh yeah, that cool little box.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they were doing.
Yeah.
That was Jim Beam. That was actually Jim Beam.
what was
the
it?
Hardin's Creek,
Hardin's
maybe,
Creek,
the
yeah.
little
Yeah.
thing.
We
I
did
think
the
is what it
Hardin's
was,
Creek
yeah.
set, and that's exactly what they did.
That's all they did. So they aged it in different places in Kentucky.
Yeah.
And honestly,
You
it
can
tasted
tell the
totally
difference.
different.
Yeah,
So
that's
it's,
terroir.
it's
Same
funny
ingredients.
that you mentioned that because a lot of whenever I've heard the term terroir, it's normally come from chefs talking about normally things called truffles.
Right.
Yeah.
Normally,
Yeah.
because whether a fungus grown in dirt, mushrooms, same thing. You pick up different terroir from the dirt that they're grown in. Same thing with certain. A lot of foraging is mainly the thing that I've picked that up from, but it's also really cool doing fermentations. Where I do fermentations with chilies. So I've stinky tofu. I'm assuming you've both heard of. Is a fermentation process.
I'm actually not
That's
familiar.
actually Matt's
Stinky
nickname.
tofu.
Okay, so-
I nodded like I should know what that is. I have no idea what that is.
So
yeah.
I'm honestly sort of surprised, considering you all had the
Matt,
1,000-year-old
you
shark.
suck. You
Correct?
don't know?
The what?
You all did the 1,000-year-old shark, or not the
Icelandic.
no,
the
we did,
Icelandic
yeah,
shark?
we did
Yes.
a Carl.
Yes,
Carl. Yeah,
Hot,
yeah.
not
So-
hot Carl, but
Yeah.
So there's Carl, which is
Yeah.
the Icelandic shark.
Yeah.
There is lutefisk,
yeah.
which is a
I like
Yeah.
him. I like him.
it's it's a slow cooked slow
sorry,
cooked
different one.
fermented cod that is cooked in butter. I've heard it tastes like bleach and has the texture of Vaseline.
Sounds good.
I can't wait
Sounds
to try it. Yeah.
Texture of Vaseline.
Yeah.
Vaseline.
I'll have seconds.
That's a quick shot. You and Drew should do.
Yeah.
I won't be in it, but I'll.
But the reason I say terroir is because normally you tend to have things from their environment.
Yeah.
And it's one of the reasons I tell people not to stray away from trying something you're uncomfortable with. And that doesn't matter what it is. I grew up eating oxtails, pig's feet, chitlins.
Yeah.
I've had bugs. I've had anything you can think of.
We have too.
I mean, all of it. Absolutely. I've had
Yeah.
mealworms, crickets. Like,
Yeah.
I'm here for it. Scorpion on a couple occasions.
Yeah.
But I highly recommend trying anything that you're prompted to, as long as it won't kill you.
Right.
Sometimes it might, but it's still worth trying, depending on what it is. But you're sampling not only the terroir of where that item came from, but a culture.
Yeah.
You're getting a true sort of time travel back in time. And every time you pour a bourbon from something like that, you're stepping into that time zone, into that small little moment in history where that came from.
And I guess to that point for the bourbon, like, will they tell you on the label where that stuff comes from?
So Grain to Glass does.
From a
with
marketing
Heaven Hill.
perspective, they should.
Absolutely.
Yeah. They actually had like videos on their website when they
Yeah.
came out showing you like meeting the growers, right? So
Yes. That's
meeting
super
these
cool,
guys, it was very cool.
Yes.
It's actually when they rolled that out, and honestly the price has come down now, so it's like a sub $100 for those bottles.
Yeah.
If you look at like the time and effort they put into that with the small batch they're doing,
I think one of those bottles just won an award for something. But I mean,
sure
that
it
could have
did.
been like
I'm sure it did. But if you look at like varietals, so like heirloom stuff, two things come to mind with me: tomato, heirloom tomatoes,
Disgusting,
and
but,
corn.
yeah.
Corn, what's that now?
He doesn't like
hate
tomatoes.
tomatoes.
Yeah.
I love tomatoes.
Oh, I do too. I'm
Big
sorry,
Cherokee
man.
purple.
Yeah,
I mean,
man,
I'm
here
all in,
for it.
baby. But
Oh, Lord.
you look at that. So you look at corn is probably the most influenced by that heirloom variety. It's not necessarily where you grow it, but you have different levels of corn. You have the purple corn, the sweet corn, the whatever. I mean, it's fantastic when you get that together.
You're right. So here's a question I have.
Just stop there. I'm right.
For you, Pierre.
Yes, sir.
Let's say you take a tomato and you grow it in, like area A. And then you take a tomato and you grow it in area B.
Absolutely.
Completely different conditions,
100%.
right? Different types of soil, but it's the same
the same thing.
basic like genetic process,
The
right?
seed is the same.
The seed is the same.
It's not gonna taste
It's
the same.
growing. It's using sunlight. It's using water.
Absolutely.
It's called involving chlorophyll, more like borophyll.
Yep.
Like what kind of discrepancy?
C6H12O6.
I know, yeah. like the difference that you get in those. Like you tell me, what kind of difference am I seeing in this tomato between this tomato?
You know
is
who
it like
knows?
this?
I mean,
or
honestly-
is it like this?
Okay, so if
Huge.
I feel like, if you grew a tomato here,
Yeah.
you would have what we always, for like me and him, classify as this sort of like classic Kentucky tomato, where it's like big, juicy, not bitter whatsoever, really smooth, really fresh, really
not
bright.
mealy,
They're not meaty.
mealy, whatever you call
mealy,
them.
yes.
Yeah.
They're meaty but not mealy, which is a perfect example of a perfect Kentucky tomato. They're, I mean, great.
I didn't say
Like,
you were perfect.
Oh, he
I
said
said
I was
the
perfect. I
tomato's
think he said I was perfect.
he is perfect, always. I mean, I've never found a fault yet.
I want
so-
little angel wings behind me right now.
But I mean, it's like having, I guess if you're a true tomato lover, shout out West 6 because they have a tomato thing going on.
Yeah.
But if you were a true tomato lover, maybe salt, not even pepper. I'm a salt and pepper guy, but that's just me. Yeah. But I feel like if you had a tomato here, as opposed to something as simple as having a tomato grown in Paris, Kentucky,
Sure.
it is different. It is
How
different.
How different is it going to be?
Different enough for you to
You
go
will
to
notice
Paris,
the difference.
Kentucky
I
to
think
grow
you know the
tomatoes, to
difference.
eat those tomatoes.
Yeah.
I've had tomatoes grown here in my own backyard.
Yeah.
Amazing.
20 minutes
I've
away.
had
crazy?
tomatoes grown in Paris, Kentucky. I ate 4 in one sitting.
Yeah.
Like I was eating chicken wings. That's not something you eat raw tomatoes with.
Yeah.
I ate 4 of
would.
them. Like
I would.
I mean, just salt and pepper. Just I
Yeah.
couldn't stop. Stupid. Made tomato juice every day.
To tie it back to
Like,
bourbon, though, I think you ask about what the difference between different places are.
it's a noticeable flavor difference.
It is.
Yeah.
You remember, how do you think bourbon would taste in a tornado?
I
Remember
mean,
that one?
Am I just
So-
like throwing bourbon in tornadoes and like trying
somebody-
to drink
somebody-
it as it like comes swirling around?
somebody
like,
did.
open
What
my mouth.
Sharknado.
Somebody,
can you do
somebody,
Sharknado
you could do
bourbon?
Sharknado if there's really one. So somebody did this, not intentionally, is Buffalo Trace.
Yeah, I
So you
remember
had
that.
the tornado survivor.
Yeah. They
E.S.
almost threw all
Taylor.
that out, didn't they?
They did. So here's what they did, though. Remember my favorite warehouse. You remember?
Yeah.
Warehouse X.
Yeah.
That's at Buffalo Trace. So what they have there, they try to recreate the conditions of that tornado that caused the catastrophe.
Yeah.
So they have like open air in part of that to like age barrels in to see what it does.
Yeah.
They're doing tons of experiments there. Buffalo Trace, if you're watching, I would love to come and tour that. I don't think anybody tours Warehouse X, but your boy would come. I promise, I'd be there.
This whole segment is a sales pitch. We're just going to send it directly to
is.
Buffalo Trace.
I'll pay you like $20 to give you a little pour of bourbon. Come on, man.
I got $4, I think. I can throw in
But
on
we
that.
talked about Heaven Hill doing the green to glass. Buffalo Trace is looking at that stuff. They just haven't put anything out yet, to my knowledge.
Right.
They might have something out. Correct us. Give us a comment if they did. But
Dude, like looking
It's
at the way
coming.
Buffalo Trace is expanding, like I drive
they're
around.
not even completed yet.
Yeah, I drive around Central Kentucky a lot for my work, And like there'll be like plots of land to where they've just like leveled acres.
Yeah.
And it's always like interesting to be like, me and you drive around sometimes, you're like, oh, I wonder what's going up there.
Yeah.
So I'll Google it, and I'll pull up on maps, and it's like, oh, Buffalo Trace owns this.
Absolutely.
Good Lord.
Rick House.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
or whatever they're doing.
Yeah.
But who's to say that they're not like dabbling in doing
Well, they
terroir?
are. They're doing small batch stuff like that in Warehouse X. Like they're literally doing different yeast strains, cold, hot, storage, what it does.
Sure.
Air conditions, whatever.
I mean, I feel like that's the same thing with wine when you age wine on boats overseas to try to get,
Jefferson's did it.
Yeah,
Jefferson's
to
Oaks
try to get
out there.
different-
Tennessee's actually aged on boats too.
I mean, that's the
Yeah.
thing. It's like you're
Yeah.
trying to get different things from
Then you
the
had
environment.
the
So it
blackened
makes sense.
bourbon that was like in barrels listening to
the Metallica
Metallica.
bourbon? Yeah.
like
Right.
it just
Absolutely.
blasted Metallica.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, how'd that work? I'm like, it's knocking the shit out of the bourbon. Like, you got big speakers next to it. It's actually going to, because expand,
It does,
contract.
it does
so
a little,
it could work.
Yeah, so.
But speaking of RTDs, Drew, would you pass us one of these other things to try?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm trying to drink a little more.
That's okay. So we just had a rye tie.
I love that name.
Yeah. So these are the Tip Top Mai Tais.
Okay.
So we've got a few of these.
Like the cutest can I've ever
They
seen.
are
It is.
so
It is
cute,
very
yeah.
cute.
There's the 3-pack because
What's the
I
ABV
drank
on this?
one of the other ones.
So 52 proof, so 12 proof higher than that.
Yes.
Okay.
And when I drank this, obviously you'll notice there's a color difference.
It says shake well.
Yeah, I sort of. It's whatever.
We shook slightly.
I drank it not cold.
Yeah.
It hadn't had time to kind of get cold yet, and it kind of punched me in the throat, and I was like, I was not expecting that.
Yeah.
It's pretty good though. I'm gonna get Matt,
pass that one.
pass that over.
Pour it on and just switch it back and forth if you want some ice in there.
Yeah. So
That
again,
smells interesting.
so yeah, my cousin's husband once again gave us these. These are made with rum, lime, curacao, and
Orgeat. Thanks, cousin's husband.
That's
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Who doesn't
Yeah.
love a good
Totally
orgy?
different than the rye tie, but again, you're looking at bourbon versus what's the alcohol in this one?
Rum.
rum.
Base,
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's traditional, Mai Tai, right?
Yeah.
I think of that like a tiki drink.
Right. Absolutely.
It's
Rum is
very
my-
good.
It's my bad decision.
Very good.
Yeah.
Yeah. RTDs are, I feel like this is bigger than I kind of thought. We talked about it in our RTD episode. It's just like COVID really kind of spurred this on. And it was garbage in the beginning, but I feel like they've come a long way. So bourbon embracing the RTDs, I'm down for it as long as they can keep doing stuff like Green River's doing.
Yeah.
I think terroir is really going to be something that they can embrace. The thing about terroir is that it is very legacy friendly.
Well, you're limitless too if you think about that.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, you're limitless. You can go like Pierre said. 30 miles from here in Paris, Kentucky, the tomatoes taste different.
Right.
Sir.
I'm sure bourbon
Yeah.
ages different. Like I'm sure things taste different. What about grain grown there?
I mean,
you
it's
know?
honestly no
Exactly.
different than my hot sauce.
Honestly,
the same
even-
thing where it's
even
a fermentation,
corn.
It
Even
just-
corn, like seriously, every aspect of it.
all
I
of
think
that
corn
stuff.
would be the most. I mean, if you think about it, there's so many
think it would.
varieties
I
of
think it
that.
Are you all familiar with corn smut?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so
yeah,
yeah.
fungus.
It
Is it a
sounds-
magnet?
yes.
I've heard
I
of penthouse.
promise.
You've heard of
Yeah,
penthouse.
I know.
Yeah.
It
Corn
sounds
smut.
so
It's like
bad.
this girl I
So-
dated in college. Like we didn't.
I know, right?
We didn't last. I don't know.
We're
They
gonna
shut,
have-
they shut those down in Kentucky,
I know,
Pierre. I don't know.
We're gonna have a little history lesson real
Yeah,
quick.
yeah.
Corn smut, as Matt knows,
Is that called the Lion's Den? Is that one 75?
is a black
Cirillas?
corn fungus. Grows on corn naturally, and it is actually considered a delicacy in Mexico.
Oh, I've seen this.
Yes.
I've seen it online. I
So
didn't know the name.
I've seen a couple people actually
good.
turn. Yeah, it's really weird. Apparently, it tastes like a.
With la coche, is that the?
Yes,
you
and
get
it tastes
tacos.
like a slightly nuttier
Yeah.
maize, a slightly nuttier corn. But apparently, it has really good properties in use for tequila and things
Okay.
like that.
I think we looked at that one time.
So I've heard of people. Either it was tequila or it was corn whiskey.
Okay.
It was one or the other, but I remember it being a significant product or a significant ingredient in that product, and
Yeah.
it was pretty high salt. Very good. Highly sought after. So
Yeah. I like to put some smut in my bourbon.
I mean,
100%.
but that would be.
I think it should be law that you have to have smut in your bourbon.
Smutty
Yeah.
burban.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna start a brand. It's gonna be called
Buffalo
Smutty.
Smutty
Trace
bourbon.
Spray Asian that it's warehouse next.
Let's
Smutty
get,
bourbon made
Let's
with
get smutty.
Yeah, only made with the best fungus.
I'm a smut.
from my girlfriend in college.
That'll be aged at the Lion's Den on 75 in Corbin.
Exit 43.
Are you a corn smut? I'm a corn smut.
Mention Arsenic Culture 69 and you'll get a 20% discount on.
Or they'll make you pay more.
They might kick you out, honestly. Yeah.
Check out our gift shop.
Yeah. So
Don't mention me. I didn't have anything to do with
sound
it.
off in the comments what you think is coming up from Bourbon. Something is going to. It's going to be around forever. Is it dead? No.
It is.
Yeah, it is.
Maybe. I think part of it is. But
Yeah, but like it's still not going anywhere.
It's still going to be here.
It's going to fluctuate, and I think terroir is going to be a big deal.
I agree.
I think it is. So yeah, for more Arsenic Culture, you can check us out on all the socials. We are at Arsenic Culture.
Like and subscribe on YouTube.
See you on the next one.
Peace.